Most salary negotiation advice sounds like it was written for extroverts. It's loud, aggressive, and assumes you're comfortable with high-stakes, off-the-cuff verbal sparring. But for many of us, that's not strategy. It's a nightmare. For introverts, the thought of a negotiation often leads to freezing, anxiety, or simply accepting the first offer just to end the discomfort of the conversation. Today, we're changing that narrative. You don't need to be louder. You need to be better prepared. The truth is, introverts have a natural advantage in negotiation, a preference for deep preparation. When you reduce the need for improvisation, you reduce the emotional pressure. As we say here, evidence beats entitlement every time. Why does this matter so much? Research from the Harvard program on negotiation shows that even small starting salary differences compound significantly over a 40-year career. Failing to negotiate your first few offers can cost you over $1 million in lifetime earnings. It's not just about the first paycheck, it's about your future raises, your bonus percentages, and your retirement contributions, all of which are calculated as a percentage of that base number. Negotiation isn't greedy, it's responsible career management. Harvard's research confirms that negotiation improves pay when handled strategically. The key for introverts is moving from confrontation to problem solving. You aren't fighting the recruiter, you're solving a compensation puzzle together. Wharton professor Adam Grant notes that ambiverts, those who balance listening with assertion, often outperform extreme extroverts. As an introvert, your ability to listen and process information is a superpower. You hear what they aren't saying. McKinsey's Total Rewards framework reminds us that compensation is a multidimensional package. If the base salary is fixed, you have 5 other levers to pull. Introverts thrive in this complexity because they take the time to map out the whole deal. Fixed pay is just the beginning. We also have to consider variable pay, incentives, training budgets, and even your title. By broadening the scope of the negotiation, you reduce the pressure on any single number. As HBR's Deepak Malhotra emphasizes, don't get tunnel vision on the base salary. If you only argue about one number, it becomes a win-loss battle. If you negotiate the whole deal, it becomes a partnership. To navigate this without the extrovert burnout, we use the QUIET framework. It stands for quantify, use written prep, initiate softly, expand the package, and take your time. Let's break each one down. Q is for quantify. Negotiation is not about what you feel you deserve. It's about what the data says you are worth. Introverts love data because it removes the emotional weight from the request. Start by gathering market data from sources like Mercer, PayScale, or Cornell ILR. Look for the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentiles for your specific role, location, and years of experience. This is your foundation. Next, map your specific contributions to the company's goals. Did you save them money? Increase efficiency? Manage a larger scope than the job description? Write down 3 concrete evidence beats before the call. U is for use written prep. Your notes are your shield. The biggest mistake introverts make is trying to remember their points while their adrenaline is spiking. Never enter a negotiation without a physical or digital script. Your prep sheet should have 3 numbers: your opening ask, the dream, your target, the goal, and your walkaway minimum. Having these written down stops you from settling for less out of a desire to end the conversation. Include specific scripts for when they say no, maybe, or that's out of our budget. If you have the words already written down, you don't have to think, you just have to read. This reduces improvisation and anxiety. I is for initiate softly. You don't need to be aggressive to be effective. In fact, research shows that a collaborative, curious tone is often more successful. You are initiating a conversation, not a battle. Start with gratitude and excitement for the role. Then, bridge to the data. Use phrases like, "I've been looking at the market data for roles with this level of responsibility," rather than, "I want more money." By using we and focusing on the data, you position yourself as a partner. You're helping the recruiter figure out how to bridge the gap between their offer and the market reality. You're on the same team. E is for expand the package. If they tell you the base salary is strictly capped, which does happen, don't stop there. This is where your deep thinking as an introvert pays off. Look for value beyond the paycheck. Can they offer a signing bonus? Can they increase your stock options or equity? What about an extra week of vacation or a guaranteed remote work schedule? These often come from different budgets and are easier for a manager to approve. Think about your long-term growth. If the money isn't there now, can you negotiate a guaranteed performance and salary review in 6 months instead of 12, or a budget for a specific certification you've been eyeing? Negotiate for your future self. T is for take your time. This is the most important rule for introverts. You never, ever have to accept an offer or a counteroffer on the spot. In fact, accepting too quickly is a common mistake that signals you were undervalued. When they give you a number, your first response should be a thoughtful pause. Then, thank them and say, "I'd like to take 24 to 48 hours to review the full package and discuss it with my family. When is the best time for us to reconnect?" This time away gives you the space to process the information without the social pressure of a live conversation. It allows you to refine your counteroffer and ensure you aren't making a reactive decision based on nerves. Now, let's get into the specific scripts. First, the early salary question. When a recruiter asks for your expectations in the first 5 minutes, they are trying to see if they can afford you or if they can get you for a bargain. Try this. "I'm really focused on finding the right fit for my skills right now. However, based on my research for a role with this level of impact, I'm seeing a market range of X to Y. Does that align with your budget for this position?" Next, the counteroffer. Once you have the offer in writing, you can respond via email or phone. "I'm very excited about the team. However, given my specific expertise in X and the scope we discussed, I was expecting a base closer to Z." Notice the language. You aren't saying you want it, you're saying the market and the role require it. This externalizes the negotiation and makes it much easier for an introvert to manage without feeling greedy. What if they say, "We just don't have the budget for a higher base"? This is common. Don't freeze. This is your cue to expand the package. Use your expand the package notes now. Say, "I understand the constraints on the base salary. Could we look at other ways to bridge the gap, such as a one-time signing bonus, a higher equity grant, or an accelerated performance review in 6 months?" If you're already in the role and asking for a raise, the script changes slightly. You need to focus on your value added over the last year. Evidence beats entitlement, remember? Say, "Over the last 12 months, my responsibilities have grown to include X and Y, and I've delivered Z for the team. I'd like to discuss adjusting my compensation to reflect this increased scope and impact." Avoid the most common introvert mistake, apologizing. Never say, "I'm sorry to ask for this," or "I know this might be difficult." You aren't doing anything wrong. You are advocating for your value. Apologizing weakens your position immediately. Mistake 2, over-explaining. You don't need to tell them about your mortgage, your childcare costs, or your student loans. Those are personal needs, not market value. Stick to the data and the role's scope. Less is more. Mistake 3, filling the silence. When you make your ask, stop talking. The recruiter might stay silent for a few seconds as they think. If you rush to fill that silence, you often end up negotiating against yourself by offering a lower number. Let the silence do the work. Remember the core principle. Evidence beats entitlement. If you feel nervous, return to your data. If you feel pressured, return to your pause. You are not asking for a favor. You are transacting a high-value skill for a fair market price. Finally, always recap in writing. A follow-up email provides a clear paper trail and ensures there are no misunderstandings. It's also much easier to be precise in writing than in person. Your email should thank them for the conversation, briefly restate the evidence for your requested adjustment, and clearly outline the proposed package you discussed. This makes it easy for the recruiter to take it to their boss for approval. After the negotiation, you might feel a hangover, a sense of anxiety or doubt. This is normal for introverts. Trust your preparation. You followed the data and stayed true to your minimum. Regardless of the outcome, you've advocated for yourself. So, remember, QUIET, Quantify your value, use written prep, initiate softly, expand the package, and take your time. This framework turns the extroverts battlefield into the introverts research project. If you want the full set of these scripts, plus my written prep template, comment "quiet" below. We'll send you the introvert salary negotiation script pack directly. Don't leave your career to chance. Your value isn't measured by how loud you speak, but by the impact you deliver. Negotiate strategically, stay quiet, and stay focused. I'll see you in the next video.